here. Check this out, babe. Oh, look at you, my lover. Thank you. I need a behind-the-scenes footage. Okay, what's happening? Friends, good Lord, I'm really close up. I'm sorry, and you just saw my armpit hair. Whatever. Okay, hold on. Just a second. Oh, mercy. Mercy. Y'all, here's what's happening. It's like freaking, what's that show where you, we're in like two places at one time? Weird things are happening in my office. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted to do. So here's what I'm trying to do, friends. Thanks for joining us. What I'm trying to do, there it is. If I knew how to work it. Okay. Trying to go live and on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Here's what I don't know. We're telling your followers that you start a live video. I don't know if I can go. I probably can't go live like this. What happens if I flip you? Let's try this. Dadgum. Should have. Oop. No. Difficulty way to do this. Okay. So Instagram, welcome to Online Steps to Success. You've never been here before, probably. Oh, there's like weird light. It doesn't matter. So we're in 3 places at one time. Holy cow. Okay. Now I got to try to see if I can see your comments. Hi, Facebook. So for a long time, a very long time, we have been doing a live training on Facebook every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Central Time. And we recently started doing it on YouTube Live also because why not? And, well, because I was transferring them all to YouTube anyways. And then I'm like, well, why wouldn't we just do Instagram? Because it's my favorite. Don't tell the rest of them. But Instagram's my favorite. Why would we not do it on Instagram? So we're doing it on Instagram too. So here we are in 3 places at one time. And I feel like if you could see what's happening on my screen, it's weird. It's weird. But it's okay. Hi, and welcome. So what I got to figure out is how to, that's what you do. Make them smaller so I can see your text. So my name is Allison Dalkey. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. We are going to chat a little bit about, are we doing okay on streaming? Because I'm streaming in both places at one time. And to me, it looks like it keeps being weird on Facebook. Is that okay? Okay. When I flipped, okay, now I'm going to have to try to keep up with comments. Okay, it's fine on YouTube. I think YouTube might be winning. So thanks for joining us. We do this every Tuesday night like a crazy person. What I don't like is that Facebook is not automatically updating my comments. Like I have to scroll to see them. Okay, I'll figure it out. Tonight we're going to talk about some really great time management hacks. So we've been doing this every night for almost a year. Online Steps to Success started a lot longer than a year ago, though. We've been doing Online Steps for years and years and years. And back in September of last year, I decided, oh, it's September now. It's almost a year. I decided I really want to start doing it every single week. And my original intent was to bring on guest speakers and to have this be a training thing. And then the management of that stressed me out. And so it didn't really happen. And I just kept doing a training every Tuesday. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just do this for as long as I can, and then I'll have other people come on. And here we are, almost a year later. I'm still doing it every week. So I will say that sometimes, why don't I just show me my live comments? Sometimes I always think, oh man, someone said they lost it on Facebook. Someone said I will say almost every week I think to myself, I can't do it again. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I can't do it again. I've run out of content. Like it's probably over. Almost every week. Isn't that crazy? And then, actually, well, I should tell you this. I don't have like a process. I've been coming up with training content every week for the past year, and I don't have like a good solid process. I wish I did. My main process really is that I want to share with you whatever it is that I'm learning about. And so that's what we're doing here tonight is I'm going to share with you what I'm learning about. Let's do our regular introduction, and we'll like really get started. I mean, we're started, but we'll really get started. So I'm Allison Dalkey. I didn't say that already, or if you're just joining us, I'm glad that you're here. I have been with Scentsy for, it will be 11 years in November. All of my babies have been born in the Scentsy world except for my oldest. She was 9 months old when I joined. We have 4 kiddos, 11, 9, 5, and 3 Nature. And we have had 3 foster babies in the middle of all of our 4 biological babies. So we've had babies in our house forever. So when we talk about time management, y'all, it's my nemesis and my friend and everything all together in one, right? It's like you almost have to always be getting better at it, and that's kind of where I'm at. So we are going to talk about that tonight. I'd love to know about you. I'd love to know who you are, where you're from, where you're watching from. I really want tonight to be a conversation. I have a ton of tips for you. So these are things that I've learned, and they're not all about business. They're a lot about business, but they're also just a lot about life. And I think it's important because they are so intertwined. Our business and our lives intertwined. And sometimes our business gets kind of like the short end of the stick, right? Because our life gets a little bit crazy and then we have a hard time keeping up. So we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about all of it. So not every single tip I have may pertain to you. And by all means, not every single one of them is going to be good for you, a good fit for you. But my hope is that you walk away with a couple things, at least, that you think, God, that's a really great idea and that might really work in my life. But the reason I want this to be a conversation is I don't have all the answers and I do not know. There's things I'm still trying to get better at. And I think there's always ways that we can learn from each other. So as we talk about different things, I'd love to know your tips. It would be so cool for us to have this, for you to be able to come back to this video, reference this video when you're struggling with laundry or systems in your business or scheduling things right? Okay, remember that video? All those great ideas, I want to go back and look. So hopefully you walk away with a few things, but also hopefully this becomes a place where you can come back and kind of see, all right, there were all those great ideas. All right, we have Denise from Kansas. Hi, babe. We got to talk soon. She's over on Facebook Live. We have Amanda from Indiana, and Brandy is on YouTube from North Carolina. How are you? Over on the Instagram. That's my favorite, and I always call it the Instagram. Who's over there? Oh, there. I can see your comments better now. Well, on Instagram, you gotta tell us who you are and say hi. I think maybe this is my first ever Instagram Live, even though I do Instagram stories all the day long. Kelly from Ontario, Canada. We're so glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us. Ashley from Plainview, Texas, and Amanda from Texas also. All these people from Texas. Facebook does regularly tell me that my videos are popular with women in Texas. So there you have it. Lindsay's in Ohio. Hi, Lindsay. You're so glad that you're here. I don't know what happened to my chat on YouTube, but it's gone. Is this too much? Am I multitasking too much? Am I going to stress myself out? I don't know. We shall see. There we go. New Mexico. Melanie is in New Mexico baking banana bread while the kids play outside. I think that sounds like a fantastic Tuesday night. Melanie, so glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us. All right. So let's get to it because I have a lot to share with you. Really quick. Hi, Becky. Becky's also from Canada. Miss you too. Can't wait to chat this week. So I do have a ton of ideas for you when it comes to kind of some time management hacks. But before we do that, just to recap, this is Online Steps to Success. My goal with this training always is to help you grow a business that works smart, that makes more money, and that helps you dream big dreams and fulfill those dreams in your life. I want your business to be a blessing to you and your family. I do not want it to be a burden. And so that is really the desire of my heart. And that's kind of why everything is kind of centered around that ideal. Jess from Iowa City, Iowa. We're so glad that you're here. Also, before we really dig into content tonight, I want to say thank you and a huge, amazing wow. We opened registration for a retreat for directors and above on September 1st. This sold out before the day was over. Granted, we only had 6 spots. We had already had some of them pre-sold. But what an amazing, amazing response we had. And we are so excited about the people that are coming. This is really Brian and I's heartbeat, is just to have, and you guys who have been following for a while know that our big dream is for us to have land and a big, beautiful barn, and we want to have lodging and places for people to come and stay. And we want a place where people can come and stay and rest and remember who they are and kind of get focused back on all the important things in their life and dream really big dreams. And so that's our big, big goal. And we thought, oh, we can't wait to do that until we have that space. We have to do it now. We have to be faithful in the now. And so that's what we did. We actually did one last fall, and we had several Superstar directors and their spouses here, and it was incredible. And it was like one of those things that was exhausting and incredible and amazing. And by the end of it, Brian and I looked at each other like, this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. It was life-giving to us. Like, I don't know. Hospitality is both in both of our spiritual gifts, like top 5. Like, it's high for both of us. So that's part of it. We love having people in our home. We love feeding people. We love having people at our table, and we love having people dream. And so I think that's it. And we have a really big heart for marriage. So the spaces we opened up were for couples. We are planning on doing another retreat in the spring just for singles. We actually have one this month happening that's full already with just women. And so that's going to be exciting too. So ideally we'd love to do one once a month. We'll just see how it goes. So thank you for your amazing response. You guys sent us some sweet comments and some sweet messages, and it just like warmed our heart. So, y'all ready? This is one of those nights you want to have a piece of paper to jot some things down because it's a ton of information. Sarah was there. Sarah's over on Facebook, and she was at our first dream retreat, and it was awesome. And we like to spoil people, so it's like my favorite. It's my favorite. So here, in no particular order, are some of my tips. Please, please, please share your tips as we go through things. So this can be a kind of place where we can kind of all throw in our best information. So these are time management hacks to help your business, your family, everything run a little bit better. So remember, it might not all relate exactly to you. Take the things you can use and use them. Okay, number 1, we're going to start with laundry. I see people post about laundry all the time, and laundry can be a huge stressor, especially, good Lord, let me get my words, especially when you have a family of 6, like we do. But here is the thing that I found works the best. And I started doing this when we got our first set of foster babes. So we went from 2 kids to 4 overnight. And I will tell you, laundry was one of my biggest stressors. I didn't know what to do. If you have great tips about laundry, please post them. So what we do in our home now is everyone has their own basket. And it's actually my master closet, just because our master closet connects to our laundry room. I can already tell with my 11-year-old, she has a basket in her room. And plus my older kids are responsible for their laundry. I will talk about that in a second. But in terms of everybody else, I have a basket for each person. I do 2 loads a day, and I only do 1 person at a time. So, and there's a reason. So like the sorting of laundry, I freaking hate to sort laundry. Like I hate my brain trying to process whose underwear are these, right? I don't want to do that. My brain can't. So if I know this is all Lucy's clothes, granted Lucy doesn't have underwear. Please, Lord, let us have underwear. She's not interested. That'd be my 3-year-old. It just makes it so much easier to process who's whose, especially with 2 boys. My boys are 5 and 9, which they're far enough apart that I can kind of tell them their stuff apart. I still don't want to think about it. I want to be as mindless as possible. So 1 person's laundry gets done at a time, usually once a week, sometimes twice, depending on what activities they're in. And it all gets folded. When it comes out of the laundry, it comes folded. All of my children's clothes get folded. Nothing gets hung up. Hangers became a huge, nightmare for me. And so I read a book, Brian and I both did, it's the KonMari book. I don't remember what it's called. Secret of Finding Joy in Life. I don't know what it's called. Somebody Google it. It's called KonMari something. But I fold all their clothes. All their clothes go in their dresser, except for a few things like big jackets, things like that get hung up, but mostly everything gets folded. And it eliminates hangers and it eliminates brain space. It's my tip. It may or may not work for you. It might be worth trying. I also try to do 2 loads every single day so I don't get overloaded. And as soon as it comes out of the dryer, it gets folded. And then obviously the goal is for it to be put away. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it doesn't. My 11-year-old is in charge of doing her own laundry, all of it, putting it in, folding it, not. My 9-year-old is in charge of putting his in and putting his away once it's folded. He just doesn't fold shirts good enough yet, or I trust him. He will soon. I'm going to make him soon, right? But that's just part of it. So it might work for you. It might not, but, you know, worth a try. So everybody gets their own basket. Okay, here's time hack number 2. Hi, Allie. So glad you're here. Meal prep and planning. I just need a hand raised for the people who say it's like my nemesis. I don't like planning meals. I don't like cooking meals. I don't like, it's too much. Anybody? Anybody feel like that? No? Just me? Okay. I'm going to go with there's a delay, but I think that I'm not the only one. We have family of 6. Obviously, we can't eat out every night, nor do I want to. I actually really love to cook. So does my husband. But it doesn't mean that at 4:30, witching hour for toddlers, 5 o'clock, that it's not Crazy Town USA and it's like the last thing on your mind for you to try to figure out what to eat. So we meal plan once a week, and I used to hate meal planning too, like hated it. Here's the weird thing about me. I love to cook, and I love cookbooks, and I love trying new recipes. Like, love, love, love. I have so many cookbooks, and I read them all the way through. I'm a weirdo, and I try the things in them. But the process of, like, something new, something not normal on a weeknight, that sounds like disaster to me. So we've done a few things, put some systems in place to help make meal planning and meal prep easier for our family. They're not like genius things. Many of you probably already do this. We always do tacos on Tuesday. And nobody has yet gotten tired of it. My 11-year-old will roll her eyes sometimes. But, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with tacos. You can do chicken tacos. You can do soft tacos. You can do hard tacos. You can do double-deckers. You can do tostadas. You can do whatever you want, right? A lot of options. But I always know we're doing tacos on Tuesday. And it helps me know what sides I need to buy. And we can change it up as much as we want, or we can eat the same tacos every freaking week if we want to, right? We also do personal pizzas at least once a week. We don't necessarily always do it on the same day. It usually ends up being on a Friday. But we always do personal pizzas. I get that naan bread, in the bakery section of the store, and we use that as our pizza crust. Everybody loves it. It's a crowd pleaser, and everybody gets to make their own and put whatever they want on it, so there's no complaining. Like, no complaining. It's one of the few things we do that there's no complaining. That's one of my tricks. One of my other food tricks. Oh, then I also try, like, we're usually going to do chicken once a week. I'm usually going to do a soup or a stew once a week. And so it's naan. It's called naan. My husband just poked his head in to tell me it's called naan. It's not? Nan. Oh, wait. Nan is that stuff you put on your legs. No. That's nair.
When you say nan, it sounds like, you're not real smart.
Okay. Where's this? Oh, shoot.
What?
Say it again.
Non.
Well, it's not how it's spelled.
N-A-A-N.
Yeah, it should be spelled like N-O-N. Non. Stop laughing at me. I don't know what kind of bread it is. N-A-A-N. It makes great pizza crust. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, these are really silly, basic things, but sometimes we just need someone to tell us it's okay to have tacos every Tuesday, right? It's okay to have the same stuff over and over again. We have our go-to meals. It makes meal planning easier. My family is happiest when we're around the table. And so I fight like hell to get us around the table. And sometimes that means making tacos every Tuesday. That's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? So tomato. So true. Thanks, Heidi. That's all I needed. Oh, don't laugh at me. You're laughing at me. Here's the other thing. There are so many studies. Now, here's the thing. I know some of you are like, my kids are like gone or eating on the road all the time, practices and things and all the things, right? Some of you are home and you don't have kids anymore. You haven't had kids yet, Everybody's situation is different, but there is so much statistical evidence that shows how valuable time around the table is with your family. And I realize that it may not work for dinner every night for your family, but the more times you can get everyone in your home around the table together, the better it is for everybody's well-being long-term. I read this book called The Secret to Happy Families. I highly, highly recommend it. But one of the things we talk about a lot is meals, and like eating together around the table. And they tell this story about a chef. He's a chef in a huge restaurant in New Orleans, highly successful. But they weren't eating dinner on their table. And so his wife kind of adjusted their schedule. Everybody ate breakfast together every morning. When the boys got home from school, before they went off to practice, they would do an early dinner. So she would make dinner and serve them dinner at like 4 o'clock. And then when everybody was home, dad, the chef, kids from football practice, whatever, they would do a late night snack every night before bed. So she went from having their family never around the table to 3 times a day, most days, or at least the majority of them. And I just think that's a cool way to think outside the box and figure out a way to make your family have that time together if that's something that you value. And you may not, but if you do, it might be helpful. So the other thing about meal planning and prep, I love the whole freezer meal concept. Get together with a group of girlfriends. Everybody preps a ton of meals at one time, having a glass of wine. It's a girls' night out. You're getting a huge chunk of things done in terms of feeding your family. I love that idea. Even if you don't each make separate meals, but maybe like everybody makes their very best meal. But if there's 7 of us, I make 7 of that meal, right? And then we all swap out. Love that. Hi, Melissa from Australia. I'm so glad you're here. What time is it there? I think it's Wednesday there. I think it's Wednesday. Okay, there's some meal tips for you. Okay. Family meeting. Here's my other time hack. So one of the things I hear all the time when I'm doing coaching or talking to downliner leaders or whatever is we're all on different pages. Everybody in my family is on a different page. Or my husband and I are on a different page when it comes to my business. We're not on the same page. We're not thinking the same things. That's really tricky. One of the things that we have done in the past year or so, Brian and I, is every Sunday, he and I sit down and have our schedule meeting, basically. And it's the time when, and here's what I do. I trick him. Well, I don't trick him. He knows what we're doing now. But when we make a cocktail, we sit down, we try to make it fun. What do you have going on this week? What are the top priorities for you? What are the top priorities for me? What's going on at work? We don't, whatever. We don't have work. But if your spouse works, whatever, you work another job, what's going on at work? How can I support you? What do you have going on in the evenings? Like ridiculous conversations. And sometimes it's things we think they should already know. Turns out they can't read our minds, even though we want them to. They don't. It's like an over communication meeting. What are we doing, right? And then whatever sort of system you guys use to kind of stay on the same page, it all gets plugged into that. For us, it's all paper calendars because we're here most of the time. A lot of people use the Cozy app. My friend Jerry and I were just talking about that today. COZI. It's a really great family kind of schedule app. What else? A lot of people use Google Calendar, whatever you use. But the point is that you're having a conversation with your spouse about what's going on. Recently, we started doing family meetings. So on Sunday evenings, we get to, well, with our big kids anyways, we're trying to include our 5-year-old. His attention span is like this fast, right? We have family meetings. So this is when we pay out commissions to our kiddos, when we pay out allowance, when we talk about how the week went, when we also are talking to our kids now about what do you kind of have going on this week and what do you want to see happen? And especially with my 11-year-old who rides horses and is doing a lot of things. What do you need this week? Is there anything you need that we need to go get? Because, you know, they think that you can read their minds and you can't. So it's this over communication meeting. But what happens is it helps prevent that middle of the week. Oh, I have a Cincy party. Oh, I have this. Oh, I have that. I need you to do this. Half of the time that we struggle as spouses is because we're not communicating enough. So it's an over communication meeting, if that makes sense. Might be helpful to you. Okay, here's another trick. The Sunday 7. I talked about this last week in our online Steps to Success. We talked about putting things in the right order in your life. How when we feel unbalanced, it's not necessarily that we haven't given enough time to something. It's that we've put things in the wrong order in our life. That we aren't putting God first, and then our spouse, and then our kids, and then our work. That we've somehow allowed those to get mixed up and out of place. So you can check that, more details about that on last week's video, but I will also include a link to a blog post about the Sunday 7 and how you can utilize to make sure that you're putting things in order. Okay, here's another tip, a planning session. I do this every single week. It's sort of crazy and OCD, and a lot of people would say, well, that takes you more time than actually getting things done, which is not, it's not really true though. So when I say I have a planning session, usually every Sunday, sometimes it's a Monday morning, I sit down and I write down every single thing I want to accomplish that week. Personal, business, workouts, whatever. Every stinking thing that I want to get done. And I look at this list and then I cry a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. But I look at the list and then I look at my week. And y'all that have followed me for any amount of time know that I'm a paper plater kind of person, right? I have to have it written down. And then I schedule things in. When is this actually going to happen? When am I actually going to work on my business? When am I actually going to find the time to do these things? So it's not I'm going to try to get this done. It's this is what needs to be done and this is when it's going to happen. Sometimes it takes me almost an hour to fully like fill in all the gaps and figure when I'm doing everything. But then I walk into the week with so much purpose and intention that I know exactly what I need to do and when I need to do it. Does it always work out that way? No. And that's okay. It's not always going to work out that way. But at least you're walking in with a plan. And when we have a plan, then we have space where we can adjust and maneuver as we need to, right? Okay. Oh, here, and this is something I'm learning about and I'm getting better about. So morning and evening routines. There is so much research about how having a routine in the evening and the morning can drastically change your productivity. So I am working on establishing my morning routine. I used to be so good about this, and then kids and life and all the things like mess it up, right? So I've put in some work tasks in my morning routine. I put music in there, working out, Bible time, all the things that I want to get done. I think if you make it fun, but you're also doing some things that you know need to be knocked out, yeah, it means you probably might have to get up before your kids get up. You might have to get up before you normally would to get to your regular job, right? But I can really get some important things planned out and executed in the morning. The same is true for the evening, that you're winding down the right way, that you're not mindlessly scrolling for hours on end, that you're not binge watching Netflix. Here's the thing. When we try to numb ourselves with content or mindless activity, here's the thing. There's a place for mindless activity. There's a place for those things. And I think watching TV is fine. And I think that being on social media is fine. All those things are fine in moderation, but they're not okay in excess. And when they're in excess, we're usually avoiding something else. We're avoiding pain or the way that feeling something or doing work that we know we need to be doing, right? It can be a form of procrastination. So we want to make sure that even as adults that we're putting boundaries on the things that we find joy in or the things that we find rest in. Sometimes also, though, we don't find true rest in watching a show for, 3 episodes in a row. Yes, we're sitting on the couch, but it doesn't mean that it's truly rest. And so we have to be mindful and careful of the things that we're giving our time and space to, and that we're putting some routines in place in the morning and in the evening that hold us accountable, if that makes sense. Okay. Sorry, Facebook. Jackie says, my 1 hour quiet time is essential. Took me being intentional with it. Now I do it because it brings focus to my day. I love that. You do have to be intentional. It's not going to happen on accident, right? I think that anything worth doing, we're going to have to fight for. It's not going to happen on accident. It's going to be something that we set out to say, I'm going to do that. You're going to give yourself grace around it, because what happens if we don't put grace around something? If we say, this is what I'm doing, and then day 3 comes and you fall off the wagon, we forget it, right? Like, I'm just not. But when we can put grace around it and say, okay, you know what? I've made progress. I'm not there yet, but tomorrow, right? I'm going right back in. So you give yourself grace to keep going. All right, more time hack tricks and tips. Oh, I'm on a different. Okay, here's my biggest. This is very business, and this is very school, and this is very wherever you are in your life. I want to talk about batching. Batch, B-A-T-C-H. I learned this concept a couple years ago, and it has been vital in really transformational in the way that I work. So when you batch your tasks, it means that you're putting like tasks together. So for instance, responding to Facebook messages, responding to text messages, responding to emails, those would be similar administrative type tasks, right? Creating content for a training, or doing something on video, or doing some one-on-one coaching. Those would be different kinds of tasks. Okay, do you see where I'm going with this? Housework, laundry, tidying, all those things, a different kind of task. So one of the ways that I really intentionally structure my workday even is by batching tasks. So for instance, I've recently gotten back into one-on-one coaching, which I hadn't done for a while because it was taking me so long. And it was taking me so long because I was doing it wrong. So I wanted to offer coaching to my frontline, to my leaders. And I did that for a long time, and I got really burnt out because I wasn't doing it well. So what I mean by that is that I was letting it take too much of my very valuable time. Remember, anytime you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And we don't need to say yes to everything just because it's good. Sometimes we need to say no because there's a better yes someplace else. So I got away from coaching because what I was doing is I would say, I'll go to coffee with you, I'll go to lunch with you. But what happened was my coaching conversation went from what could have been done in 20 minutes to a whole entire hour, hour and a half, plus driving back and forth. And it just wasn't smart. So I reset up my coaching schedule recently in 20-minute increments. I can get to the bottom of something. First of all, I'm using a questionnaire beforehand that they have to fill out. So I have context for our conversation. I don't have to ask all those questions. I already know the answers. We can dive right into a conversation. Then from there, they know we have 20 minutes. They know exactly how long the call is. They can choose to do it monthly or every other month. So how much they get is really up to them. But they also know that somebody else is going to call 20 minutes from the time their call starts. So it provides some accountability, but I also have them all batched together. So my mind is doing one thing at one time. For the next hour and a half, for the next 2 hours, I'm doing one-on-one coaching calls. My focus is solely on my team, on my leaders, whoever I'm talking to at the time, and I'm not trying to multitask. Does that make sense? Then I have separate time set on my schedule for administrative things, following up with Facebook. It's funny because, we've been doing online steps for, almost a year now, every single week. And the more consistently we've done it, the more it's kind of grown. And at first I told Brian, I'm like, I can't do this because I can't keep up with the Facebook messages. He's like, well, you're just offering free training. If you can't keep up with the Facebook messages right now, then don't. What's funny is it's such good, it's not funny. Why do I say that? I say that a lot, huh? Anyways, just a little critique. It's such good advice because sometimes we do things because we think it's just everybody else does it, so we should do it. And the more I thought through the process of why do I need to respond to everybody's Facebook message? So I'll get a lot of questions, and I love your questions. You'll ask me for clarification on something, or you'll ask me about something that I haven't talked about that you're wondering about, whatever. Or you'll just send me a sweet message and tell me about how much you like online steps. And I told Brian, I can't manage it. I can't keep up with it and my team and my personal Facebook. Like, I just can't. And he's like, well, just don't right now. And I was like, okay. Because he was like, because what's important that you're doing, that you're giving what's on your heart. When you get a little more streamlined, when you have more time, when you can get your schedule in order, or when you can hire some help, then you get to that. So I think it's important that we're always thinking about what is the most important thing right now? What is it that we're called into right now? If you're leading your team, what does that look like? It doesn't have to look the way everybody else wants it to look. For instance, batching your tasks. I hear so many leaders say, I feel worn down by my team, by my customers, because I'm responding to text messages all the time, constantly. You guys, you don't have to respond to a text message the moment that it's sent. That's not how it works. You have maybe set the precedent that that's what people expect now because you've always responded immediately, but that's not actually how it works. You don't have to have your phone in your hand all the time. You don't have to be available 24 hours a day. There is nothing wrong with having a designated time to respond to text messages. When it's convenient for you, when you have some time to sit down alone without having to ignore other people, right? That's perfectly okay. So think about that. And maybe that means I need to schedule some time in the middle of my day, in the morning, in the evening, whenever, to really give the focus I need to responding to text messages, responding to emails, whatever. Batching your tasks is so important. Let me see what else. So this is even other things like your social media. When you're doing social media stuff, do it all at one time. Get in and get out is what I like to say, because you know what the newsfeed does. It'll suck you right in. Get in and get out. That's always my goal. Get in and get out. Do what I'm going to do. Engage the way I need to engage, and then get out. Don't get sucked into groups. We're going to get to that in a second. The other things you can batch: all your host coaching, all of your event prep. Deliveries. This is one of my. If you've never heard this, it might change your life. If you are a consultant that makes deliveries on a normal basis, from this point forward, you probably only need to make deliveries once or maybe twice a week. So here's what that looks like. Some of you have established customers. You'll take their order. You'll place it with another order. You'll put it in a party order. I'll deliver it to you. I only deliver orders on days that I'm delivering orders. Meaning, just because your order came in doesn't mean I'm delivering it the very next day. Here's what I tell customers when their order comes in. In my city, like it could take me 30 minutes to drive across town. And I have customers that are an hour and a half away. And I don't deliver that far. I'll just pay to have it shipped. But if it is somebody that I would, have it delivered, I always give them an option. You can come by and pick it up off my porch. There's a free scent circle on the porch that you can pick up with it when you come and get it. Or I'll be making deliveries on Thursday. And then I'm making all my deliveries on Thursday because I'm batching things together, right? Here's the thing, when you're making these rules in your mind and you're trying to put some time management hacks into play, it doesn't have to be like a hard rule. Like, let's say you're going to the doctor and one of your customers orders, she's literally the, neighborhood across the street. Well, by all means, take her order, right? You're already going to be there. But if you don't have time or you're going to be in a crunch, then don't. I'm going to be delivering on Thursday. I'll be delivering on Friday. Whatever day you're going to deliver, then you can go deliver. Or you always give them the option, or you can come pick it up for a free bar or a free scent circle or you could have just a goodie bag on your porch. Take something out of the goodie bag, whatever. For coming to pick up your order. Batch your tasks together. Okay. Look at y'all. You already know. Wednesday's delivery day. If you want it before then, you come and get it. That's right. Sorry, I'm a little annoyed because my Facebook does not automatically. I have to click it to see the most recent comments. So I don't know exactly what you're saying. Okay. Oh, you can also batch your personal things. You need to take your kids to the dentist, the doctor, whatever. Try to batch all your appointments on the same day, or try to batch similar things on the same day. Batching is my favorite. Maybe that's all you need here. It'll change your life. All right, here's another thing. Another tip. Evaluate what's working and what's not. So if you're saying, here's what's really working well in our life. We're doing really good at dinner. I'm good at feeding these people. That's working. Here's what's not working. Bedtime. Or here's what's not working. My morning routine. Evaluate what is working and what's not working. And then fix what's not working. Troubleshoot it. Ask yourself those questions. How can I make that more efficient? What can we do to make that simpler? Most of the time, things aren't working because we're overcomplicating them. Simplify as much as you can. Okay. Here's a good one. Simplify things that bring you stress. Or they may not bring you stress on a normal basis, but when they come up, because maybe they're irregular or they're out of ordinary, it brings you stress. Here's examples. Kids' birthday parties. Taking meals to friends that had babies or someone passed away or whatever. Make a rule and then follow it. When people have babies, I take the same thing every single time. I love to make it. It's easy. Also, when I make it, I double it, obviously, because then I make it for my family too. And all my kids love it. And then they usually ask who had a baby or who died because they know it's what I take. It's these little ham and cheese sandwiches. But they're not just ham and cheese sandwiches. You bake them with the mustard and the butter. They're so good. And a salad and fruit. And dessert. Done, right? So easy. But I just know if someone has a baby, that's what you're getting. It's a system that works. Same is true for birthdays. When my kids go to a birthday, they can pick something out of the Scentsy closet for their friend. So maybe we have a birthday this weekend. Backpack clip and some cash. Done. $10 and a buddy clip. Happy birthday. we're so glad that we're friends, right? But I'm not going to the store. We're not getting Iron Man things. And if you don't have Scentsy stuff on hand, just we do gift cards or whatever is simple for you, like whatever works well for your family. But simplify the things that bring you stress or the things that overwhelm you. And the way we do it is just by saying, here's what we do when this happens. And the kids have a birthday party, whatever. Okay. Hey, go find your daddy. I got a Rogue One, babe. Another tip for simple funeral sandwiches. They are totally funeral sandwiches. They're so good though. Another tip for helping you manage time management hack. Quit something. Not a joke. Quit something. We are overcommitted, overworked, overdoing it most of the time. And part of it is because we have this can-do attitude. Like, I can do it. Like, we can do anything, right? Wrong. You really can't do anything. Like, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So stop trying to do everything. Like, quit something. Quit something. If something isn't working for your family, quit it. Like, I get commitment and I get the things, but if it is a stressor for you in your life, quit it. You don't have to be in the PTA. You don't have to volunteer for every committee. You don't have to say yes all the time. Saying yes is also saying no to something else. Ask yourself what you're saying no to. Because you know what? There are some things that I won't remember that I did, or that my kids won't remember that I did 10 years from now. But they will remember me sitting down and read a book with them. They will remember dinner around our table. They will remember all those other things, but they won't necessarily remember that I served on the PTA and made lunch for the teachers. And granted, those are good things. And maybe in this season, that's exactly what you want to do, and that's what you can do with your time. But if you don't have the time in the margin, quit it. And it's okay to quit something. It's okay to quit something. I don't know why we have this idea that quitting is bad. Quitting is not bad. Quitting is great. But you need to make sure that you're honoring your time and that you're putting things in your life in the order that they go in. And if you can't put them in the order that they go in, something else has to go. Okay. Yes, Lauren said I read The Best Yes, and it talks about this. So some of my favorite books when it comes to time management, and not even just time management, but just thinking about time in a different way. One of them is The Best Yes. It is a fantastic book, and it exactly what Lauren said. It talks about this. Like, when I say yes to something, it means I'm saying no to something else. And it's just that training your brain. The other one is called The Fringe Hours, and I've mentioned it more times than I can count. But it is also just a reframing of your brain about the time that you have and how you can use it to your advantage. Heather said, I used to try to do everything and never say no, and I was so stressed. No is the best stress reliever. This also, that's so true. This also applies to your business. Not every single thing that you're doing right now is beneficial for your business long-term, or the best thing for your business right now long-term. You do not have to do every show and event that's thrown your way. You do not have to do every party. You do not have to do every fundraiser. You, as a business owner, should be evaluating everything against your life and your family. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to build a business that is profitable and that lasts long-term. Yes, I want it to grow. Yes, I want you to make money. Yes, I want it to continue to gain momentum. But I don't want you to kill yourself in the process. And I don't want you to get burnt out. And I don't want you to resent it. Because you know what happens when you say yes too much and you overschedule and you overcommit? You start to resent the thing that you're doing, that you're overdoing. You don't have to say yes to everything. You can say no, and no is okay. All right. Here's another thing. And some of you are going to throw little stones at me, and I'm going to be okay with it. Get help where you need it. Listen, none of us are enough on our own. We are not enough. We were never made to be enough on our own. We need other people. We were created for community. We were created for help. We were not created to carry everything on our shoulders. And if that's where you are and you're trying to hold it all, you have done, friend, you're doing too much. And it is okay to ask for help. And I know that, yes, you can pay for help. And yes, you can solicit help. And yes, you can get help in a lot of ways, but where you need help, you need to ask for help. I'll give you some examples. Grocery delivery, it's my favorite thing in the world. Grocery pickup, also fantastic. Childcare. Sometimes I need somebody else to watch my children. And I know that costs money. There's other ways you can do it that don't cost money, but also sometimes my well-being is best if someone else to watch my kids for a few hours. Anytime anyone ever asks me if they can bring us a meal, my answer is always yes. Always. It's always yes. Yes, you can bring me a meal. Yes, please. Cleaning. Maybe you need help cleaning. You need to pay somebody to come in and clean. Sometimes you just need a reset, right? But also, there's other ways you can do this. Like you're thinking, well, I don't have the finances to do that. I get that. You can trade out childcare. One of my favorite things in the world, my sister did this for me recently. After I had surgery a couple weeks ago, she said, why don't I come get Lucy? And I said, great. So Lucy and Kingston are 4 months apart. They're fireballs together, as you can imagine. She said, I'll just take her. And so Lucy went and stayed with my sister all day long, and I got some work done. I got my head clear. All was well. And then I took Kingston the next week, and honestly, it was almost easier to have 2 of those little boogers than just 1. We traded off time. We traded off energy. It was good for both of us in the best kind of way. The other thing, you can do that with cleaning too. I know women who take turns cleaning each other's houses. So I have a couple of friends and they will switch out. So they'll say like, all right, you take the kids. I'm cleaning my house this week. You're taking the kids. Then we're going to flip. Or they'll both go clean one house together while the husbands have kids or whatever. Like, be creative. Like, you can do things with other people in a way that makes sense, that gives you more time and more energy and more margin. Yes, baby. Yes, I know where it is. Okay. In Lucy's bathroom, it's on top of a tall thing. Someone taller than you is going to have to get it. But it's in where the potty is. It's up high on the wood thing. Okay. I love you. Sorry, it's Iron Man logo. It's very important. I thought he wanted brave. Nope, just where's my Iron Man logo? Okay. More tips. Here's my favorite one. Unsubscribe, unfollow, unlike, leave the group. Do not add me back. Turn your notifications off. Yes, 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 yes. Get on the do not call list. You know, you can also get your mail, like physical junk mail, from coming to your house. You go to directmail.com and you can unsubscribe from the things coming to your mail box. True story, right? Who wants to go through their mail? Nobody. Unless it's sweet cards. Nobody wants to go through all their junk, right? You don't. But my favorite words are unsubscribe, unfollow, unlike. Not because it's not a personal thing sometimes, but sometimes we just need more silence in our head. We don't need to hear everything. We don't need to see everything. We don't need to compare. You can unfollow. You can get out. You can stop looking. It's okay. The margin that it creates in your life and in your soul is worth it. Totally worth it. I'm just saying. Oh, here's a really great tip. This is from Emily Lay. She has a fantastic planner called the Simplified Planner. You can check it out. Here's the thing. I'm dual fans. I really love the Day Designer, and I really love the Simplified Planner. I like them both. I also like the Passion Planner. I really like a lot of paper planners, but this plug is specifically for Emily Lay. She has this tip where every Sunday you take a laundry basket, you walk around your house, all the things that are someplace that they do not belong, you put them in the basket, then you sort the basket, and everything goes to the rooms that belong. Like this. Tile spacers on my office desk, they don't belong here. They don't belong here. So they would go in the laundry basket. The laundry basket would then get sorted, and everything would get put back where it actually goes. Do it once a week, and it's like putting things where they belong. We love that. Okay. That is a good tip, but I'm going to skip it. Okay, I'm going to close out with this. So, the whole point of this is when you can find margin in your life, you can put some systems into place that help you work smarter, create more space in your life and your family, create more space in your brain and even the things that you're seeing, like on a day-to-day basis in terms of notifications. Turn the notifications off on your phone. I don't have any notifications on my phone. I get text messages. That's that whole batching mindset. I don't get notifications on my phone because I don't need to immediately respond to somebody whenever they send me a Facebook message. I just don't. There's not ever going to be an emergency where someone's going to contact me via Facebook message, right? So if I have my time batched where I can say, okay, here's when I'm responding to my team and text messages and emails. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do all that stuff right then. It gives me more time and space to be with my hot man, to be with my kids. I'm not too.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Why don't you get in here, you sexy thing? You don't need all the
time management, so I thought you were going to be done fast.
No, I ain't know. No, I got so many things to say. I didn't even give them all my tips.
Just skip.
You know what he said at dinner tonight to our children?
Oh, come on.
Say it, babe. Go ahead. Tell the world. You said it to our
I will
children.
tell them. It doesn't even embarrass
What did
me.
you say?
Okay, y'all heard that trick, right? Where you say...
Say the actual thing you said. No, don't say the trick. Just say it.
Okay, so
What did you say?
I said something about... And it was totally random. I just said, oh, that's a wiener for. And then I'll go, what? And I go, a wiener for. It's a wiener for. Hoping one of them would say, what's a wiener for? And then, ha, 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 ensues the laughter, right? I was going to say for peeing, crazy boys, come on, you know that. But nobody fell for it. But they didn't know that. So they were just like, what are you talking about? And I go, a wiener for. It's a wiener for. And they go, huh? I'm like, ah, never mind. You don't get it. So she started dying laughing immediately. So she knew. But you don't know. Anyway, you got to have fun with your
I
kids,
think
right?
the first time I heard that, it was the other word for wiener.
Start with a D.
Mm-hmm.
That's the R-rated version. I was
Sounds
trying
like
to go
that could be
PG.
a tool. Anyways. Okay.
But we were around the table because that's important to us. We want to be around the table. We have fun. We goof off. It's fun.
Okay, I'm going to give you another thing. Here's another thing. I think it's so important that you create and look for places in your life where you can create rhythms and traditions that become foundational for your family, that become foundational for who you are. Dinner around the table at our house has become that. Movie nights have become that. We don't always do them every single week. They're not always on a Friday, but they're routines and traditions that are becoming more and more built into our family. Oh, also
Dance party.
Dance party is very much a routine and tradition for our family
We had
now.
a dance party tonight.
We've had about 3 dance parties today. We should start filming our dance parties because they're pretty entertaining.
Yeah, because you can dance.
No,
No one wants to see me flailing about.
it's more entertaining because of you flailing about.
All right.
It's also entertaining because I lip sync a lot because I can't real sing, and so Lucy.
I do have that on me.
So Lucy has started to do it. So she'll go like this, like she'll sing, but she won't say anything, but her mouth's moving because
So
she's
good.
learned that from her mom. It's good times.
Yeah, I'll just kind of move on that front. It's great.
But-
And then Wyatt will just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
But create traditions and routines around things that you love. I mean, honestly, the dance party was built out of after my surgeries a couple years ago. I kind of went through this like writing therapy thing, and one of the things it talks about so much is like doing things that you love that bring you joy. And digging down, and I was like, well, I really love to dance, and I grew up dancing, and so we instituted a dance party at our house, and we dance party almost every night.
You used to
And
dance for me before we had kids.
I used to dance for money before we had kids.
Wow. We're a football team, a professional football team, guys, not what y'all were thinking and what.
Arena football.
Arena
Let's not
football.
get crazy. It wasn't the
Yeah,
Dallas Cowboys.
not
or anything.
NFL. They were professionals. And there were some ex-NFL guys, but it was arena football. It was way funner.
It was really fun. It was super fun.
But I was saying you used to dance for me.
We all
before
know what
kids.
you were saying.
I don't know, I was just clarifying.
He just comes to talk dirty on camera.
I do. What?
Yeah, I mean, I really think.
You're the one that said talking about the wiener four joke thing.
Well, it wasn't.
I didn't
I
say
was
that.
just trying to show them how inappropriate a father you are.
Like an impractical joke where he said, I just whisper stuff into my daughter's ear. Edge. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So, put things in your life. I can't even teach anymore. Put things in your life that bring you joy. Create traditions around those things. We love being at the table. We love to dance. Those are things that have become important and valuable in our family. And we can find those simple joys in our lives, but they're not going to happen on accident. They're not going to happen because we have extra time left in the day. You're not going to have extra time left in the day unless you carve out margin, unless you utilize the time that you've been given and steward it well to do good work and to bless other people. I really do believe that we were all put on this earth to do work that only we can do, that was created for us in advance, that is good work. And it's not going to happen on accident. It's going to happen because we set out to do it intentionally. We set out to do it. And a lot of that comes from stuff like this, silly little things. We're talking about laundry and food, but they really matter. The other thing I think is important is you've got to find time for you. And that a lot of times doesn't happen for us unless we carve it out and say 30 minutes a week. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to wander at Target and drink a latte, but I'm going to be alone for 30 minutes. There's so much, you need space in your life that's not noisy, that isn't loud, where you're not hearing other people talk, where you're just being. And whatever that looks like for you, start small if you need to, but carve that time out. So, we love y'all. Thanks for joining us. Instagram, you're the coolest. We had a triple broadcast tonight, babe.
I wondered why you had 3 screens up.
Look at that.
Did you tell him you don't have pants on?
I don't know.
You know she doesn't have pants on? I'm joking.
I'm going to go get 2 books, so I'll show you. And I do have pants on.
She has pants on.
Yeah, I got pants on.
Hot pants. What? My lady only wears one kind of pants, and that's hot pants.
Maybe I can't
You can see your booty.
find it. I know, it's blue.
Booty is not blue. It's clearly red-ish.
Oh, well.
All right, I know you're all wondering why I called this meeting.
Oh, I had a whole, my blue got too big. I had to put another. It's not over there either.
What book?
$30.
Oh. Is it in our room?
Did I give it away? I do that sometimes.
I didn't give it away. I was trying to give away Everybody Always a couple days ago, and we didn't have a copy, so we need to order some of those. Shut your mouth. Where?
Right there.
Well, why is it with the white
I'm
books?
sorry, because it's doing a thing for
See, guys, y'all think she's so organized, and she's sitting here doing one on time management and organization, and the white book was not with the white books.
I knew where it was.
I didn't. All right.
Anyways, those books I was talking about, French Hours. If you want time management, like rethink time books. The French Hours by Jessica Turner and The Best Yes by Lisa TerKeurst. Fantastic books.
Yep.
Okay. So, thanks for joining us. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
Which one's which?
This is Facebook. This is YouTube. That's Instagram.
Oh, cool.
They're only a little bit confusing because these are backwards. Isn't that weird?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like flipped.
So
So
she's on one side in one of them, but on the other side in the other.
I'm next to myself.
Yeah, she's next to herself, and I'm on the outside.
It's kind of weird.
It's weird. Oh, and my hair's parted differently.
Well, yeah, because it's backwards.
Which way is it in real life, the way you look at it?
I don't actually know.
It's this way. Right?
Oh, but look in there. It's even different than all the other ones.
Oh, my goodness.
It's weird.
It's a fun experiment. Okay. Sorry, y'all have to be a part of our randomness.
Okay.
All right.
Go
Love
do
you
good
guys.
work. Go have fun. Work hard and play harder.
I think that's a bumper sticker. I've seen it. Saw it on Jeep. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Now we gotta turn off 3 videos. 1,